True to horsemanship. You know, here at FalconRidge, once in a while you get a horse come in that sort of pulls at your heartstrings, and this new gray behind me, his name is, we've renamed him Rimrock. He came from the Treasury Department. He was confiscated, him and another horse. They were transporting illegals across the border. And this horse, he rides real well. He's quiet on the saddle, but on the ground he's skittish, because one thing I found out catching him and his cohort, they both came from the same person. They evidently was in a big remuda, because they're used to being getting roped. And that's how, when he was in the smaller round pen, I had to catch him. There's something about this horse's eye I really like. I don't know what it is. He's a little bit U-neck. His conformation ain't the best, but I don't know. He pulls at my heartstrings. Once in a while, they will do that. You know, this is mostly talking today because I've shown a lot, and so I'm running out of things to show you as far as what the average person can benefit from. Rimrock here, he's, like I say, sort of, to me, he's getting to be special in my heart. And like I said, I can't explain it. If somebody adopts him and gives him good old TLC, and I'm not talking about treats, but give this horse his trust on the ground and make a good little horse. Like I said, under saddle, he's got a lot of miles on him. He's not bad. You know, we had some conversations going on here on Friday. You know, days like that is when I wish I just had a film crew filming all day long, because a lot of stuff comes up in the process of the day that, you know, could really benefit. One thing is how anal people are getting. There's one part we was taking pictures of this guy, matter of fact, or the other one that came with him, and you know, I adjusted my headstall, and I wasn't bothered keeping the keepers, put my leathers back to the keepers, because why? I mean, we're just going to take it off another horse and adjust it again. And the lady said, well, that's unprofessional, David. You know what? I don't care. Be quite honestly, and that might sound unprofessional, but I don't really care. You know, my job out here is to show people, train horses, just not to look pretty. I mean, and another thing came up. I was working with some other horses, and I was joking around, said something. The same person said, David, that's unprofessional. Once again, I don't care. You know, today's society, we're really big into that, I guess. You know, if that was the case, all them old timers, you know, I was around when I was a kid and coming up and seeing, they were unprofessional. There's one point where I was adjusting a bridle on a horse, and they say something about the wrinkles. Well, a bridle horse, number one, as soon as you put that bit in their mouth, they're going to grab hold of that bit and hold it. So it might look like you have a wrinkle or two. For me, if I pull on my headstall, pull my bit down, there's not any wrinkles. It's up to them to hold it where they're comfortable with. I don't have it real low. I just got touch in their mouth, and then they'll hold the bit where they want it. You know, somebody made a comment. Well, a lot of people's made a comment. They can really tell through my love of the horse. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I get burned out sometimes. But if I would go somewhere, I'm usually looking for a horse to ride. You know, they've been good to me. They've been my savior a lot of times. And horse has been one constant in my life. I mean, I'm pretty much alone because hell, no woman really wants to put up with me at the end of the day. And the only thing I got is my horses, my dogs, and 2 birds. One Norati cockatoo and Sam on the call. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is just ride him around, see what comes up and transpires and everything. And I hope my battery just didn't run down.
Is this live?
No, huh?
Is this wire live?
Yes. Now, one thing I do, is I've ridden him twice, but the first thing I'm going to do, oh, that brings me up. Somebody asked me about why don't I put a snaffle bit on this horse. Number one, he's a bridle horse. So, you know, I'm enough old school where horse is bridle, I'm going to ride him up, bit it up. And this is just I've showed in my previous episodes, just a broken snaffle with a long shank on it. He's U-neck, so yeah, I could put a snap on him. But if you look, the way his neck, this muscle is so developed, I'm going to pull on his mouth so much to get my point across to get him on the vertical when I use this shank bit and do the same thing with less pulling. So to me, it's not fair to him to use a darn snaffle. I mean, of course, that's not politically correct these days. It seems like nothing's politically correct these days anymore.
This is what I do every time, the first time I ride a horse. I see this horse named Rimrock. The bay you see behind, just for general info, is Rose Lee. Now this video's really not that much. The first part here, I'm just showing how I start riding a horse. First, I always back him up. I mean, that's a gimme. And Rimrock's a little nervous horse. You can see him. That's why his head's up. U-neck on him. So I'm just going to start doing little circles with him and see what he knows. In reality, this is my 3rd ride on him, but this is what I did the first time I rode him. Just start out in small circles, see how I gave to his leg and everything else. And once again, yes, I could ride him in a snaffle bit, but as you see, watch both parts of this video, you'll see his head start coming down. And when I snap on this horse, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have to be on his mouth too much, and it's not fair to him. I mean, it's that giving. Of course, I know that's not politically correct nowadays, but as we know, I don't care about being politically correct. I mean, my job is to work horses and rehab them and do what's fair to them. So, right now I'm just, like I said, I'm just finding out what he knows, and just give him chill out a little bit, because as you know, his head's dropping lower and lower. And one thing about this type of shank bit I'm using, it's got independent action, what we got called side pull action. While I'm backing up, I'm not going to bring him forward until he relaxes. I don't care how much he pops his head. If he wants to find that bit, that's his problem. It's not mine. He's got to be responsible for his own actions. And after a while, they'll stop. Like I said, this first part's so different. Not much about anything. I'm just warming him up. you an idea of what I do.